Welcome to Piscataway Elks number 2414 for our Flag Day ceremony. At this time, please turn off all cell phones or set to silent and vibrate mode. Please join us as we play the national anthem. Please be seated. Members and guests, the purpose of this service is to honor our country's flag, to celebrate the anniversary of its birth, and to recall the achievements attained beneath its folds. It is quite appropriate that such a service should be held by the Order of Elks, an organization that is distinctively American, intensely patriotic, and without counterpart. Esteemed leading night, what are the fraternal aims of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks?
To inculcate the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity. To promote the welfare and happiness of mankind. To uphold our country and its laws, and to quicken the spirit of American patriotism.
Esteemed leading night, what is the significance of the American flag?
It is emblematic of the crowning virtue, charity.
Esteemed loyal night, what is the significance of the American flag?
It is emblematic of justice for all.
Esteemed lecturing night, what is the significance of the American flag?
It is a symbol of brotherly love.
Lodge Esquire, what is the significance of the flag from the station of the exalted ruler?
It is a symbol of fidelity.
Charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity are the cardinal principles of our order, and they are exemplified in all our services. By them, we teach love of country and of our countrymen, and loyalty to our American way of life. To be an elk is to be an American citizen who lives for their country and is ready to die for it. Please stand. The chaplain will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, in this hour of patriotic observance in the birthday of the American flag, we ask that you bless our flag and the people of these United States. For all our flag represents, both at home and abroad, we thank thee, and that through all our history as a nation, it has been ensign of freedom, liberty, and opportunity. And through the years to come, may this flag wave as the banner of liberty, freedom, and enlightenment. May this service bring to each of us a sense of loyalty to our country and to enable us to be better patriots, truer citizens, and more loyal Americans. To thy the glory and to the honor of this great nation. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. That we may better understand the meaning of our flag and profit by its lessons, I call upon the officers of our lodge for the history of the flag.
Heraldry is as old as the human race. The carrying of banners has been custom among all people in all ages. These banners usually contain some concept of life or government or those who fashion them. The evolution of the American flag marks the progress of the government of the American people. From the founding of Jamestown in Virginia in 1607 until 1775, the flag of England was the flag of the peoples of America. In 1775, the pine flag was adopted for all colonial vessels, and this was the banner carried by the Continental forces in the Battle of Bunker Hill. The southern colonies from 1776 to 1777 used the snake flag.
In the latter part of 1775, the Continental Congress appointed a committee to consider the question of a single flag for the 13 colonies. That committee recommended a design of 13 alternate stripes of red and white, with an azure field in the upper corner bearing the red cross of St. George and the white cross of St. Andrew. John Paul Jones, the senior lieutenant of the flagship Alfred, hoisted this flag to the masthead on December 3, 1775. And 1 month later, it was raised over the headquarters of General George Washington at Cambridge, Massachusetts, in compliance, as he wrote, to the United Colonies. This flag, called the Continental Colors, and the Grand Union, was never carried in the field by the Continental Land Forces, but it was used by the Navy as its exclusive ensign, and it was the first American flag to receive a salute of honor, a salute of 11 guns from the port of Orange in the Dutch West Indies. In response to a general demand for a banner more representative of our country, the Congress on June 14, 1777, provided that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes of alternating red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white on a blue field, representing a new constellation. It is generally believed that in May or June of 1776, a committee consisting of George Washington, Robert Morris, and George Ross commissioned Betsy Ross, a Philadelphia Quakeress, to make a flag from a rough design they left with her. It is said that she suggested that the stars should have 5 points rather than 6. This starry banner was first flown at Fort Stanwix, called Fort Schuyler at the time, near the city of Rome, New York, on August 3, 1777, and was under fire 3 days later at the Battle of Oriskany, August 6, 1777, during a British and Indian attack. The first official salute to the Stars and Stripes was given on February 14, 1778, by France, under the French coast, when the Ranger, under command of John Paul Jones, was saluted by the French fleet. This flag, then carried by the Ranger, was made by a young woman from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, from stripes of their best colored silk dresses and the white wedding gown of a recent bride. It is said that the same Ranger's flag was flown by Jones's ship, the Bonhomme Richard, in its thrilling fight by moonlight upon the high seas, which the British frigate Serapis. When the Serapis struck her colors, the immortal fame of John Paul Jones was ensured, as the intrepid defender of the youthful republic. The original 13 stars and stripes represented the original 13 colonies. In 1795, 2 additional stars and stripes were added to represent admission to the Union of Vermont and Kentucky. Under this banner of 15 stars and stripes was fought the War of 1812. It was the sight of it flying over Fort McHenry on September 14, 1814, that inspired Francis Scott Key to write what was to become our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Miss Margaret Young, who cut the stars for that particular banner, was the mother of Henry Sanderson, the Grand Exalted Ruler of the Order of Elks in 1884.
The Congress, on April 14, 1818, adopted a resolution that on and after July 4th, 1818, the number of stripes should be 13, and that the blue field should carry 1 star for each of the 20 states in the Union, and that a new star should be added for each state thereafter. Since 1818, there has been no changes in the flag design except that the 28 new stars were added before July 4th, 1912. And this flag of 48 stars flew over the nation for 47 years until just before the Vietnam War. On July 4th, 1959, a star was added for Alaska, our first non-continental state, and a year later, Hawaii. Our island state added a 15th star. Our present flag, 50 stars and 13 stripes. It is accompanied by the POW-MIA flag to recognize the plight and the miss of a special group of our armed forces, those who were prisoners of war or still remained missing in action.
Please stand and salute our flag. Stand. As this emblem is first in our hearts as loyal Americans, so is it close to our altar as loyal Elks. The gentle breezes with lingering caress kiss the folds of no flag which could compare with it in beauty. There is no such red in budding rose, in falling leaf, or sparkling wine. No such white in April blossom, in crescent moon, or mountain snow. No such blue in woman's eye, in ocean's depth, or heaven's dome. And no such pageantry of clustering stars and streaming light in all the spectrum of the sea and sky. Go ahead. Our flag is at once a history of declaration and of prophecy. It represents the American nation as it was at its birth. It speaks for what it is today, and it holds the opportunity for the future to add other stars to the glorious constellation. The Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks is the first and only fraternal body to require a formal observance of Flag Day. In July of 1908, the Grand Lodge of this order at Dallas, Texas, then assembled, provided for the annual nationwide observance of Flag Day on the 14th of July in each year, by making it mandatory upon each local lodge of the order. This unique distinction as the strongest promoter of Flag Day is most becoming of the Order of Elks. This order is distinctively American. Only American citizens are eligible to join it, and it has no foreign affiliations. It has linked its destiny with the destiny of our country, and made this flag its symbol of self-dedication to God, to country, and to fellow man. Please join us in singing God Bless America. Please be seated.
Well, we're in Kate Smith. The Stars and Stripes, flag of the United States of America, the worldwide hope of all who, under God, would be free to live and do His will. Upon its folds is written the story of America, the epic of the mightiest and noblest in all history. In the days when peoples of the old world groveled in abject homage to the heresy of the divine right of kings, a new constellation appeared on the western skies. The Stars and Stripes symbolizing the divine right of all to life, liberty, happiness, and peace under the endowment of its creator. To what man or woman is given words adequate to tell the story of the building of the nation? What that immortal story is written in blood and sweat, in heroic deeds and unremittent toil, in clearing the primal forests, and in planting of vast prairies which once coyote and buffalo roamed. Onward swept the nation, spanning wide rivers, leaping vast mountain ranges, leaving in its path villages and farms, factories and cities, till at last this giant nation stood astride the continent from the Atlantic to the Pacific. This is the heritage of the people of the United States. It has been repurchased by each succeeding generation and must be re-won again, again and again, until at the end of time, lest it too shall pass like the ancient empires of Greece and Rome.
The price of liberty is internal vigilance. What was won at Lexington and Concord and Bunker Hill had to be repurchased at Ticonderoga and Yorktown. What John Paul Jones achieved upon the high seas in the War of Independence had to be repurchased by Commander Perry on Lake Erie in the War of 1812. The prestige of Admiral Dewey's victory at Manila Bay in 1898 was re-won by the Navy battles in the seas about the far distant islands of the Pacific after the sneak attacks upon Pearl Harbor and Manila in 1941 had summoned our country to assume its role in World War II. What our troops achieved under the Stars and Stripes at Chateau and Ferry and Flounders in World War I, their sons were required to repurchase in World War II. In the bloody trek across northern Africa and on the beachheads of Europe and in the Battle of the Bulge. The flag of American men raised at Iwo Jima was the same flag later raised in defense of Incheon, Persian, and Pork Chop Hill in the far-off Korea. Then another generation under the same flag bled to stem the threat of communism in far-off Vietnam. Our young people were again called to carry out flag in defense of the free world in the actions in Grenada and Panama. Willingly, our brave men and women carried our flag and the honor of the American people into battle in Operation Desert Storm. And who among us will ever forget the sight of firefighters raising our flag over the ruins of the World Trade Center? The military personnel dragging our flag on the side of the Pentagon, or the citizens of Somerset County, Pennsylvania, placing our flag near the site where brave Americans died fighting the hijackers on flight number 93. No other symbol could have offered such comfort as we still today endure the honors of that day. Today, American armed forces carry our flag in the villages of Iraq and mountains of Afghanistan and the jungles of the Philippines and wherever terrorism may reside. Their struggle against sponsors of terrorism is the hardest battle yet, and this threat to our nation and to our way of life is certainly as great a challenge as our flag has ever seen. The resurgence of patriotism since September 11, 2001 has rekindled respect for our flag. We see the Star-Spangled Banner wherever we turn, on homes, businesses, automobiles, and billboards. Such displays stimulate our love for our nation and for what it stands. They remind us of the sacrifices being made by the men and women of our armed forces around the world, and they are the tribute to the heroes of the police and fire departments of our nation.
The greatest significance of this flag, however, lies in the influence it has in the hearts and minds of millions of people. It has waved over the unparalleled progress of a nation in developing democratic institutions, scientific and technological knowledge, education, and culture. It has served as a beacon for millions of poor and oppressed refugees and stands as a promise that the underprivileged will not be forgotten. What is the meaning of the flag of the United States? There can never be a definitive answer to that question. There are people in this world who see it as a symbol of imperialism. Others see it as a destiny of the people. But Woodrow Wilson resolved his reference to these and similar views when he said, "This flag, which we honor and under which we serve, is the emblem of our unity, our power, our thought, and shape of this nation. It has no other character than that which we give it from generation to generation. The choices are ours."
Only love, true love for our fellow man, can create peace. The emblem and token of that love is the stars and stripes, the symbol of an American way of life. Our fathers, God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. Protect us through thy might, great God, our King.
Lodge Esquire, how shall we further honor our flag?
The flag is formally honored by the Pledge of Allegiance. This pledge was written in 1892 by Francis Bellamy and published in the Youth's Companion as part of the patriotic campaign of that magazine. The pledge did not become part of the flag code until 1942, and in 1954, the phrase, "Under God," was added.
Let us all stand and pledge ourselves never to forget the principles represented by this flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. In conclusion of this observance of Flag Day, let us rededicate ourselves to the flag of the United States of America, and may the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity ever increase in each of us. I will now ask Mayor Waller, would you care to say a few words?
Thank you, Piscataway Elks, for your dedication to the community and bringing us together today. The blue of our flag, like our country, has been changing. A changing landscape. The growth of each has been a source of wealth, of pride, of strength, yet still out of many, one. One flag, one people, one destiny. We are called to form a more perfect union. Yet today we see that bonds of our union straining, fracturing. Those guiding words are being tested and challenged. So let us use the flag to recommit to our country, to freedom, to equality, the rule of law, our fundamental rights. Let us plant our flag on common ground and common ideals. Let us all who see the flag recognize it for more than just cloth and colors. Let us all call to action for all Americans to protect our democracy and our future. Let us pursue happiness together under one flag. And thank you. And once again, on behalf of the town council and myself, I want to thank the local Elks here for sponsoring this, and also the Boy Scout troop for being here today. I know a lot of people could be other places on a Sunday in 90-degree weather, but thank you. But when Marie calls, I come. So she's the boss. So anyway, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Waller. State Trustee Betty, please say a few words.
Okay, I can't do it. I was going to say a few words, but I really will. Peter, thank you for inviting me here today. I'm really honored that you do ask me to come. This ceremony to me from the Elks is really a very touching ceremony, and it tells us a lot. We have to remember that a lot of people fought under that flag. A lot of people bled under that flag. Many gave some, and some gave all. I know I'm proud to be an American, and I hope to God that on this day, on this Flag Day, that we can all remember what it's like to be an American, to honor this flag, and hopefully bring us all back together again. God bless the Elks. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Betty. In closing, I would like to thank everyone in attendance tonight, especially the officers, members of the Piscataway Lodge number 2414, Mayor Waller, Piscataway Council members, PCTV, staff, and Boy Scout Troop number 67. Please stay and enjoy our hospitality. I now declare this service closed.